Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Pop Go the Writers. I want to say something like, where the point, everything's made up and the points don't matter. Wrong show, though.
What show is that for?
Whose line is it anyway?
Oh,
How you doing, Mr. Jim?
I'm here. Isn't that good enough for you? That I'm here.
Well, I take what I can get. Yeah.
Good, because that's all you're going to get.
Well, fair enough. So, anything new and exciting?
I got an Amazon review this morning that made me a little mad because it dinged me because of because of Amazon's printing. It's print on demand, and something about every seventh page was like printed too light or something like that. And it's like, no, I have no control over that. Why would you ding and of course you can't do anything about it. So it's like, stop it.
Yeah. I've had those reviews before, or when I was doing the Lucius Fogg books, somebody complained because the cover was upside down.
Yeah,
So,
like as if that's your fault,
yeah,
You know what you do? You return it. Amazon will replace it if something is, went wrong or defective or something like that. There are people who think that an Amazon review is to review Amazon. It's like, no. Yeah, and you're basically hurting in a way the product that you get. Just send it back, do the refund thing or the return or whatever,
yeah.
and drop a note to Amazon, let them know that there is an issue that they need to take care of, but don't ding the product, or in this case the book.
Yeah. I mean, if it's not the content of the book, then don't critique the content of the book.
Yeah, you're right. Review the content of the book. The other thing is that they sort of dinged me because it's a book on comics. It's my Brave and the Bold book, and I don't have any images in the book. And the very first thing in the book, the first page, is an explanation as to why there are no images. And the person said, "Oh, well, yeah, I guess I kind of, understand that, but it would have been nice to know going in that there are no images." And it's like, I think I did my due diligence, and it's like, I don't know how would I have explained that, like on the cover of the book, should there be a big starburst that says,
Well, if he's buying it off online, then you need to, maybe you put it in the description.
Yeah, I guess it could be in the description, but here's the thing. There's the thing, Amazon has the sample, it says click here for sample pages, and it gives you, I don't know, from the very beginning of the book and however many pages. So it's literally right in that, and I put, it's literally like the copyright page and the title page, and then this disclaimer, big disclaimer, and it says in bold, why are there no images? And then I explain why. I don't know. I mean, I guess it could be in the description, but I think they wanted it on the cover of the book, now with no images, real
Or
big.
they didn't bother to look and just ordered it anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just funny, getting dinged for things like that. Like, that's like, and what did you think about the play, Mrs. Lincoln?
Yeah. That's like ordering, Oliver Twist and getting upset because there's nothing about the Dodgers in here.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear about the Artful Dodgers and how good they did last year.
I've seen plenty of books get reviews that say like it arrived damaged. Like, no, that's not. That has nothing to do with the publisher, the editor, the writer, the artist. No,
Yeah, well, it doesn't when it's print on demand, but when it's Random House, yeah.
yeah, I would say. Well, even Random House. I mean, they're it's shipped through Amazon. I mean, again, it's like you just get a replacement. You tell them,
Mhm.
that it arrived damaged. You don't put that in a review. That's not what a review is for. But anyways, I'm happy that anybody's saying anything at all about my stuff, I guess.
Let's go ahead and shift topic to one that you're much more happy about.
Oh,
The
no, no.
latest episode of Doctor Who.
Oh my goodness.
Now,
Wait,
I don't
wait,
necessarily.
we don't bring up Doctor Who otherwise, but no, you have to bring up
Well,
this
no, no,
one.
no. But see, I'm not bringing it up because I want to review it.
Okay.
I bring it up because of an article on Deadline this morning
Oh.
that touts this episode as the series' first ever same sex kiss in its 60-year run.
Oh. I will have to take their word for it.
Well, no, you don't have to because they're wrong.
Oh, is that
That's
right?
my point.
Okay.
In the first season, when Russell Mulcahy brought Doctor Who back in an episode with Christopher Eccleston as the Doctor,
Yes.
there is, in the season 1 finale, there is a moment where they're splitting up to do dangerous things to try to save everybody.
Mm-hmm.
In there is Captain Jack Harkness.
Captain Jack, yes.
Captain Jack, played by the great John Barrowman.
Mm-hmm.
And knowing that what he's about to do could mean certain death,
Yes.
he takes a moment, says kind things to Rose Tyler, Billy
Yes.
Piper's character,
Yeah.
and kisses her.
Yeah.
He then turns to the Doctor and says, "Damn you for making me brave. I was much happier being a coward."
Mm-hmm.
And he kisses the Doctor, and then he runs off.
I learned this today, like literally like 2 hours ago or so, and have already forgotten it. But yes, that's what I learned. Yes.
Now, this wasn't something I had to look up. I
Mm-hmm.
watched the episode when it aired,
Mm-hmm.
saw that moment, and thought, what a great moment. And it's such a great moment for Jack's character
Mm-hmm.
because you really get, you understand that he pretty much goes whichever the way the wind blows.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that's been part of the show since Mulcahy took it over.
Yeah.
More gender fluid stuff. But for Deadline to say that and not, I mean, I'm not the biggest Doctor Who fan.
Yeah,
but,
right. And you were able to say that.
Yeah, I mean, I caught it instantly.
Well, now is that par for the course for them? Do they not usually do that much research, or
no? Deadline's one of the better sites.
Okay. Do they now, or have they started having AI write articles? Maybe.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay. So I assume that people have been pointing this out.
Oh yeah, all the comments, but they haven't updated it either. That was this morning, and they haven't updated it either.
No, I'm not trying to justify it or whatever, but my podcasting partner, we talked about this, and he said the only real difference was that Jack kissed the Doctor, whereas in Rogue they sort of kissed each other. Like, if I don't know if that makes any difference, whatsoever. I mean, I guess that's 6 of one, a half a dozen of another, but. The sad thing is that one of the things that we talked about is that episode did not earn that moment. It's to me, that episode is so poorly written, and then I mean the entire thing is amateurishly written, poorly written, and I don't believe any of the so-called, romance that's in it at all. I don't. I'm of the opinion I just don't care for the idea of the Doctor having a romance like that. But if you're going to do it, my argument is you got to sell it to me then, and
Yeah.
it fails to sell it to me at all. It happens in the wink of an eye, and they go from flirting to like this is the love of my life in the space of in the show maybe like 30 minutes, something like that, and it doesn't work.
Yeah. But this is not the first time the Doctor has fallen in love.
Yeah, and I totally get that. I mean, again, he and I debated this whole thing. John, my podcasting partner, he's not happy with the people who he said a lot of fans are saying like that the Doctor doesn't do this. This is nothing, that this is not the way he is. And John traced how many different times that something like this happened, all the way, although I don't agree with him on this one, all the way back to in the very first episode he has a granddaughter, which implies that he has children to have a grandchild, and that he might have been married. Or I said you don't really know at that point in the show. You don't have any idea what the people of his world do or not do to have children,
Yeah.
or maybe they have loveless marriages just to produce children. Who knows? I don't know.
Yeah. Now, I did appreciate that that Rogue was played by Jonathan Goff.
Okay. I'm
Who,
glad that you do, because I found him like very lackluster. Like he had no chemistry with Shudigatwa that I felt at all, and there just wasn't really anything about him. I've seen a lot of people say he's like a poor man's Captain Jack, like as if the show said we really need to have a Captain Jack, so they tried to make another one.
should have
My
just brought back Captain Jack.
Well, John reminded me that in recent times there were some issues with John Barrowman,
Yeah.
although maybe some of that's water under the bridge. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what the BBC's current
Yeah.
status is with him. I agree. Yeah, what I did is I brought up the example of an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation called Captain's Holiday. Do you remember this one? Picard goes on like vacation and he runs into this bad girl named Vash,
Yeah.
and suddenly he's having a relationship with her, and I hate that trope that secretly people like Picard or like a lot of us, we all secretly love the bad boy and the bad girl, and I really hated that, because that episode, that whole thing did not ring true to me whatsoever. Rang totally false. I felt the same way about this one. It wasn't authentic. They had they had no chemistry together whatsoever.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't falling in love with the guy. And it's funny, I said this to my podcasting partner. I said, I have a lot of man crushes, and I'll hold every single one of them up to this guy, no matter, like, bring on Robert Downey Jr., my big man crush.
Yeah.
He'd walk all over this guy.
But the thing is, and I think what a lot of people are missing is that this pretty much was a homage to Bridgerton.
Very much so, yes. I've never seen Bridgerton at all, but
I have. I have. I wasn't meaning
Okay.
to. It happened. When you have a girlfriend that moves in, she'll watch things that you're just kind of laying there playing on the phone, trying to ignore. And next thing you know, I've watched 2 seasons of Bridgerton.
The next thing you know. Well,
Yeah.
when one of the characters, basically the companion, Ruby Sunday, when she says in this episode, "Oh, this is so Bridgerton," I mean, they literally spell it out.
So I think a lot of the writing and stuff was geared towards that. And if you've seen it, then it
Yes.
probably works for you.
Yeah.
Where, for other people it doesn't.
Yeah.
I think this is one that it's not that important of an episode,
No,
and not
you're
all
right.
Doctor Who ones are.
Yep.
I think this was a fun episode, a filler type episode, and but hey,
There's a much bigger controversy in the episode. There's one moment that I like.
Richard E. Grant.
Yes, yeah, where the doctor is being scanned, and it's fun. It's a fun shot. All these procession of hologram faces goes by as he's being scanned by Rogue, and it shows all of his past incarnations. And in the middle of all of that is Richard E. Grant. And I had to have John explain the whole thing to me, and it is very, very interesting because this seems to be Russell T Davies, BBC, whoever the production crew, saying this is now canon. This guy is part of it now.
But it's going to be tricky how they do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that's what I'm to understand.
He was after Paul McGann.
Mm-hmm.
Paul McGann turned into the War Doctor. And the War Doctor became Christopher Eccleston, the Ninth Doctor. So we've seen the regenerations. How does this guy suddenly fit in?
Mm-hmm.
I
agree.
And we saw Sylvester McCoy become Paul McGann.
Right. From what I understand, it was going to be Richard E. Grant was going to be after Paul McGann, but it became Christopher Eccleston. And there was something made. There was like one thing they said something about it was like with flash animation.
Yeah,
like one story was actually made. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how that works, but like the John Hurt, War Doctor is in the procession. The lady who plays what they're calling the fugitive doctor is in there, and then of course all the ones that we all know, including Paul McGann and all of that. So it's funny because I really like Richard E. Grant, and I always have, all the way back to when I saw him in the Scarlet Pimpernel TV movie years ago. Always liked Richard E. Grant, and he ended up in Star Wars. Yay! So it's funny because like the faces are going by, and I'm going like, oh, there's so and so, and there's so and so, and I'm like, I actually recognize Richard E. Grant. And I'm like, I think I don't quite know what that is, so I had to look into it and find out what it is.
Remind me what Richard E. Grant is in Star Wars.
He is in Rise of Skywalker. He plays General Pride, I think the character's name is. He's the in the First Order. He is brought in kind of as a foil for General Hux.
Okay.
And we found out that Pride has been like working for Palpatine, all along, was loyal to him during the rebellion era and all of that. There's an unfortunate thing about that. They made a big deal about Richard E. Grant being in the movie before it came out, and they laid down these hints that there was going to be more to him. Richard E. Grant said something about when he was told the name of his character, he was supposedly like, oh my God, what? Really? That's amazing. So there was some speculation that he might have been related to Grand Moff Tarkin, because he even kind of would be similar physical, looking to it. And then the movie comes and goes, and there isn't anything at all. So I think something changed, and I don't know what it was, but that was a little disappointing. But I still love the guy. I think he's great. And if they can somehow work him back into Doctor Who, I'm okay with it.
To me, he's classic Loki, and that's good.
Yes, I mean there is that too. I just love him. It's a little sad because if you see his X feed, Twitter feed, X feed, whatever you want to call it, he a little over a year ago, I think, lost his wife, and
Yeah.
pretty much all of his tweets or X's or whatever they call them now are all about her. And I mean, that's, personally, that hit me pretty hard when I started to kind of look into this whole thing.
Yeah, I remember when his wife passed, and
Hmm.
I've been kind of following him ever since then. So, but
Yeah.
I think I follow him on Instagram.
He really is amazing, and like I said, as an actor, I really like him.
Yeah. So, well, we'll have to see how this season plays out. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet. I'm going to, but I got
Yeah.
such a list
Two
of
more
stuff.
episodes. Two more episodes. Next week is supposed to explain why this actress named Susan Twist, has been in every single episode as different characters. And this is the one that's supposed to explain why why that is. As they say, there's always a twist in the end.
Interesting. Yeah. But yeah, I've been catching up on so many other things with Lisa here now. That's like,
Sure.
and it's like the other night. It was like we started watching an episode of The Night Agent. We've watched some of The Gentleman. We've watched some of The Bear. But also we did an entire season of The Great British Baking Show.
Yeah.
We watch a lot of cooking channels, and
I
so
think it'll be interesting for someone, like you to watch this season of Doctor Who all, kind of all at once,
yeah,
It's it only started to fall apart in these last two episodes for me personally. I've enjoyed it up until the one called Dot and Bubble, and now this one I just totally did not like.
okay. All right, let's move on from the Doctor. The Acolyte.
Yeah.
That's getting a lot of interesting response.
Yep.
You're looking at like a 90% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 30 fan response.
Which, yeah, and that means that I totally discount then
Yeah,
the so-called fan response, because I think all of those people had their minds made up before they watched 1 second
yeah.
Of that show. You know,
I love that it's a new era of Star Wars we haven't played much with.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah, I like the Jedi's have a familiar but different look.
I'm right with you. Yep.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the whole twin thing, but they could do a twist like it turns out the evil twin isn't really alive. It's a forced projection, and that's why um, the good twin uh, can't really use the force because she's constantly using the force that keeps her other sister alive.
I've heard a lot of different theories. The first twist theory that I heard was that they are both alive, but what we see as the good one is really the bad one, and kind of vice versa, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
Um, I don't know what to think. I don't have any problem with their using twins, because people lost their crap because, oh no, twins again, and it's like, number one, this is nothing like Luke and Leia. Luke and Leia, that was not a twin story like this. This is, you know, uh,
no,
uh
this is more soap opera.
yeah, but it's also, this is paternal twins, where Luke and Leia are fraternal twins, and I don't see it. But again, Star Wars, I think, can have these things that repeat, because there's somehow that just shows that that's an important thing in the Force. Maybe it creates twins,
Yeah,
all along, or like in the sequel trilogy, it's that what's it called, a dyad in the Force.
yeah. The dyad being like Ray and
and
Mighty
Ben.
Goth Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what, Dan, I totally agree with you. This whole idea of familiar yet different. That was nice. I think I enjoyed it more than I expected to. And it did feel like Star Wars to me, but it also felt somehow liberating, like,
Yeah.
this is, where you can kind of go here and there and not have to kind of worry about that. I think the funny thing is that, well, how will it feel if Yoda does appear? And I don't know how they couldn't have him,
I hope
you
they
know.
don't, just because, see, to me, it's kind of like The Mandalorian. When The Mandalorian debuted, I
Mhm.
really liked it because it was a completely different area of the Star Wars universe,
Sure.
an area we hadn't done anything with. And I really liked that. And I loved exploring that. And then it's like, oh, he's a Jedi. Oh, he's a Force user.
Yeah.
Can we just play with the bounty hunters and Quill
Yeah.
and that whole thing? Do we really need? No, no. Stormtroopers are showing up. Yeah,
Yeah. I hear ya. I
yeah.
know. Yeah, and then it became like, a sequel to the animated shows, and um I I like pretty much everybody in the Acolyte. I liked the different actors. Nobody was like annoying to me at all. I really like what I think of as our main guy, and I hate to
Master
say
Soul.
what.
Master Soul.
Yeah, Master Soul, who is in the Squid Game, is that right?
Yeah, Lee
Yeah,
Jung Jae.
yeah, and they say he learned English for this. Um, it's somebody said it. I saw it online, and somebody really nailed it. They said when you are speaking a language that is not your primary language, and you've learned it more recently, but then you can also still emote the way that he's doing, acting. And I said yes, and that's what I kept thinking through that whole thing, that what a fantastic job he was doing, and yet he is speaking a language that is not his own language. He hasn't even been speaking it for that long, but everything was still coming through so strong. And I said, there's the mark of a good actor right there.
The only thing that bugged me, and this is probably going to be personal. I don't see anybody else out there talking about it.
Mm.
Uh, Master Soul. I like the character. I'm enjoying it, but because of his accent and the way he's talking, he comes across a bit stereotype, a bit stereotypical kung fu master, you know. And I get that Star Wars has always been, kind of a samurai story,
Mm.
but this feels like it's almost blatant, a little too much.
I will. Number one, I didn't feel that way. Maybe I'm a little surprised that didn't occur to me, but but I think it was okay with me because we haven't seen a Jedi. Like, I would have thought before, by this time, whatever it is, 47 years now,
Mhm.
we would have seen a character like him, a Jedi played by an Asian actor, who was, I assume that this guy was born in Japan.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't born here. Um, that maybe that's okay. Maybe it's interesting to finally see, somebody like that. But again, I'm kind of surprised that we haven't. I'm almost surprised that George himself didn't.
Well, the thing that bugs me, like I said, is the accent he has, and I get that that's his accent.
Hmm.
But in Star Wars, we're supposed to accept that the Empire sounds like British people, and then but every
Yeah.
time they throw somebody in, Bill Burr jumping in as Miggs Mayfield, in The
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorian, has
Mm-hmm.
such a strong Boston accent that it kind of takes you out of the moment because it's like,
Now that one I will kind of agree with. Yeah, yeah.
so why does this guy have that accent?
I don't.
Because there's no China in Star Wars.
Oh, pardon me. Did I say Japan? He Chinese?
I don't know.
Okay, he
I,
maybe he's Chinese. Um, I would say that Bill Burr maybe would bother me. It has bothered me more than this guy. And sometimes what it is that if you get a guy who's too street level earth,
yeah,
that doesn't necessarily, like, for the most part people tend to speak a little bit higher in Star Wars. It's not quite like how like Stan Lee had everybody talk in the Thor comics. It's not necessarily like that.
yeah.
But when you get somebody who's just a bit too, like street level, do you know what annoys me more? And they did actually do it in Acolyte. It's when people in Star Wars, when they have it in the dialogue that they're using Earth phrases. And there was one that they used. It's early on, and I went, no, it's like that's from Earth. That nobody in the Star Wars universe would be saying, and I wish I could remember what it is, but it's like if it's from an Earth work, like you can't have anybody quoting Shakespeare in Star Wars. You shouldn't. Nobody should be using any sort of
Yeah,
phraseology like.
Star Trek, not Star Wars.
Right. Yeah, that's no problem. It's connected to Earth, but don't have that. That bugaboo of mine goes all the way back to when the Lando Calrissian novels came out, like late 70s or whenever. There's a trilogy of Lando Calrissian novels, and there's a character who walked up to something or whatever and knocked on it, and in the text it said he did a shave and a haircut on it. And here's me reading it going screaming, no, that's from Earth. Like, shave and a haircut, like, stop it. There wouldn't be anything like that in the Star Wars universe. Nothing at all from Earth. Stop that. I realize they're all speaking English, but you will accept
Yeah.
that. I wish I could remember what the character said in Acolyte that made me mad. And then I think there was
I think I remember. I don't remember what it is either, but I remember that moment.
yeah. It's like,
Which,
no, stop that.
Yeah,
But
by
yeah,
the way,
I mean, Dan, I can kind of see what you're saying with him, but it didn't bother me at
oh,
all.
and by
I
the
thought
way,
it was interesting again that we were getting some an Asian actor finally playing a Jedi, which are pretty much monks
Korean.
from. Oh, he's Korean. Okay, so, but I mean, like the idea of like you said that there's samurai. George Lucas actually called them monks at one point. That was like a sect of monks. So he's Korean. Okay, interesting.
By the way, hello Ed, and I am crocheting, making a dice bag, so you can see I haven't forgot about crocheting.
Oh, Ed, you missed all the good stuff, man. See what happens when you come in late.
That's right. Did you bring a note to explain your tardiness?
Yeah,
But overall, I like the show.
yeah,
I'm really
good.
curious to meet a Wookiee Jedi.
Uh-huh.
I'm
Yeah.
all for that. I'm a little bummed that they have the exact same guy playing the Wookiee as to plays Chewbacca now.
Yeah, it's Junos or Yunos, however you say his name. I remember I heard that and then totally forgot it, and then I see his name at the end, and I went, "Oh my God, that's Chewbacca!" Well, what's funny? I swear to God, no one will believe this, but he's not in it that much. He's just at the end of the second episode when he's like walking away after getting rid of those guys. To me, he's walking like Chewbacca. Like, it's like the guy's not changing his gait or whatever. And it's like, oh, I hope I don't keep looking at him as Chewbacca through
Yeah.
this.
At least on The Mandalorian, when they brought in Chrysanthemum, they had a different actor.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like, yeah, please don't have this guy play every single Wookiee in Star
Yeah.
Wars.
Sure, there's other tall people in the world.
I know, right? I mean, total props to the guy for taking over from, a beloved actor who'd played Chewbacca all along,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's kind of fun. I guess maybe it's that he doesn't get to play Chewbacca anymore, so this is the consolation prize. I don't know.
Oh, like we're done with Chewbacca.
I know. I would assume if they do ever actually make that Rey movie, I'm assuming that Chewbacca will be in it.
Oh yeah. I mean, they love bringing characters like that, and you got a character that can be as old as you want them to be.
Well, I think he needs to be in that movie because I think you need to have at least one connection point to the original trilogy, and that's got to be Chewbacca now. Well, I mean, I take that back. Other than C-3PO and R2-D2, but
yeah.
whether Anthony Daniels is going to be able to keep doing it, who knows?
By the way, the guy that played Chrysanthemum, the other Wookiee actor, is Kerry Jones, and the another part he got to play, the Man Thing in the Werewolf by Night special.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you never see my face, but I got great roles.
Yeah, I was gonna say, man, that's got to look really good on a resume.
Yeah.
You
Sorry, Mr. Cotter. My mother wrote a note, but my dog ate it. Okay, Epstein.
Oh,
Ooh, Mr. Cotter, Mr. Cotter. Signed, Epstein's mother.
Signed, Epstein's mother. I understand that reference. I got that reference. Unfortunately.
Okay, so
I'm glad that you liked it. And I've been telling people don't pay attention to all the stupid naysayers and everything else. I think it's worthwhile. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the episodes.
Okay, we're going to move on here because something that caught my eye. Well, it's been catching my eye a lot because this upcoming Superman movie, we know David Cornsweet's playing Clark Kent Superman, and Rachel Brosnahan is playing Lois Lane. Nicholas Hoult is going to play Lex Luthor. It was announced that Sean Gunn is going to be Maxwell Lord. We're not 100% sure he's going to be in the film, but then why was it announced so early? Then we have Sarah Sampaio as Eve Tessmacher and Terrence Rosemore as Otis. So now you have the bad guys from the first Superman movie.
Well, I mean...
But wait, there's more. Then we got Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent, played by Pruitt Taylor Vince and Neva Howell. Then at the Daily Planet.
Now, wait a minute. Now, that's a bridge too far. I will not accept that. I'm sorry.
At the Daily Planet, we have Jimmy Olsen, played by Skylar Gisondo, Perry White, played by Wendell Vaughn, Kat Grant by Michaela Hoover, Steve Lombard, played by Beck Bennett, and Ron Troop, played by Christopher McDonald.
Okay,
so
wow.
You have pretty much... I looked up the Daily Planet in Wikipedia, and it listed the employees, and all but Lana Lang, because I guess Lana worked there for a while too.
Yes, she did actually. Yep, that would.
Okay.
Yep.
So we've got all the people from the Daily Planet, named characters from the Daily Planet.
Pretty
we
much.
have all the bad guys from the first Superman movie. We get Maxwell Lord, maybe, but then on top of that, we're getting Hawk Girl, played by Isabel Merced, Green Lantern by Nathan Fillion, Metamorpho by Anthony Kerrigan, Mr. Terrific by Eddie Gathega, and the Engineer, played by Maria Gabriela de Faria. And
who's the Engineer? I don't think
she's from the Authority.
Oh, is she the drummer? Is that the drummer character, or is that called the
She's the
drummer?
one that's covered in silver and can make things.
Oh, okay, okay. So
She's the
they're
equivalent of,
trying to beat the Fantastic Four movie to the punch and have their own female Silver Surfer.
yeah, I mean, she's kind of got the powers of, remember Madison Jeffries from Alpha Flight
Yeah. Yes. Yep.
or
Yep.
Forge?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they've also announced that Millie Alcock will be playing Kara Zor-El or Supergirl, and that she's supposed to debut before. Did I say Wendell Vaughn? You're right, Wendell
Yeah.
Pierce. I said Wendell Vaughn, who is
Oh,
Quasar. So that seems to me like a hell of a lot of people in a movie.
yeah, that was my first reaction. But I mean, I bet you, I don't know, if you pulled up the cast list for Superman Returns, maybe there'd be just as many. I don't know. I think what it is it's having all those heroes and then having all of these, Daily Planet
Yeah.
characters. And I bet you most of them, like Steve Lombard, probably has one line, one scene, one line. They'll film a bunch of stuff and then just trim it all down.
But then why go out and get a Saturday Night Live alum to play one line?
I know. I totally get it. And this was kind of my argument when they started telling us who, like, we're going to have all these different heroes in it. And I said, well, does Superman have anything to do in this movie? Like, it's supposedly a Superman movie.
Yeah. It just seems like he really wants to give us the Superman universe. Like, here it is.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't just throw Hawk Girl into a movie without any explanation.
Yeah. Yeah. What wasn't there just a Hawk Girl in the Black Adam movie, right?
No, that was Hawkman.
Oh, I was thinking, okay. For some reason I thought there was also a Hawk Girl too. Okay.
No,
Because they're gonna say that's weird to have like two very recent Hawk Girls.
there was a
Okay.
Hawk Girl on the Arrowverse.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But let's see, the Black Adam was Hawkman, um,
Cyclone.
Cyclone,
Adam
Adam
Smasher.
Smasher,
Yeah.
and Doctor
Dr.
Fate.
Fate. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Okay.
And they totally should keep Pierce Brosnan as Doctor Fate.
Yeah, right. That's what everybody was saying.
But you can
And
smile.
then what? And then you're going to tell me that Brainiac is in this movie also? Is that right? Or
Well, we haven't heard if Brainiac's going to be in it or not, but there's a possibility.
okay.
But that's the point. Is that at this point, who hasn't been announced yet? The HR department from the Daily Planet, Kent Banker.
Let me think. Lois Lane's father, General Lane,
And his
right?
sister, her sister.
Yep. Lucy. So that's we haven't heard that casting yet.
Who ends up having a kid with Ron Troop.
Right. Crypto has not been that casting has not been announced yet.
Yeah, it's probably just going to be CG. I don't think he's going to talk. And George Clooney as Krypton.
Oh, there's the doorman at the apartment building that Clark lives in on Clinton Street. There's that guy. Oh, you know what? There's all of the people who live in the apartment building. There's the twins. There you go. There's more twins for you.
Yep.
Yep. So yeah,
Bibbo. There you go.
Bibbo. Yeah. Yeah. Gangbuster hasn't been announced yet, and that lady who works for the fire department that was in the Brian Michael Bendis Superman series, and
and what about the cop that looks like Jack Kirby?
Oh, Terrible Turpin! Oh my God, yeah. Well, wait a minute, Maggie Sawyer. That's the.
Maggie Sawyer. By the way, Michael Rooker and Turpin.
Huh?
Michael Rooker is Turpin. That's the way I'd go.
I swear to God, you brought that up before, and I said, yeah. Didn't we just hear some kind of rumor about Michael Rooker?
Oh, I
About
tried to
him?
start one.
Huh?
I tried to start one.
No, no.
I did.
I
I put
swear
a
to
video
God,
out.
I heard a real rumor, not a
What
not
was
a
the,
Dan
oh, I'm
Wickline
curious
rumor.
now. What was the rumor?
I don't know. I swear to God that there was something that I saw where Michael Rooker was being rumored to have a part in some big movie, and I swear to God it was a superhero movie. You haven't heard this, huh? I don't think I'm making this up.
No, I think I did.
No, it was
I
not from you. I saw it like on Twitter or X or something like
I
that.
posted out there a video saying that Michael Rooker has had to cancel a signing at a convention because he was filming on a new project and he had no new project currently listed, and he's in every James Gunn movie. So it would make sense if he was down in Atlanta while they're filming Superman.
Okay, the rumor is that he was going to play Sam Lane in Superman Legacy.
Okay.
It's so funny that I was joking about her father, and then it says James Gunn confirms that Michael Rooker will not be appearing in Superman Legacy. He actually responded to the rumors, putting an end to speculation about the actor's involvement.
Well, he was already in Suicide Squad.
Yeah, yeah.
So
He could have been a good Sam Lane, honestly. That
yeah,
wouldn't have been so bad.
it's funny. I think about Michael Rooker, and then my mind goes all the way back to Mallrats.
Oh, is he in Mallrats?
He's the security guard that's chasing him through the whole movie. No, he's not the security guard. He's the mall head of the mall.
Okay.
When the guy puts the melted chocolate pretzels in his hand.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
long
I know.
time since I've seen Mallrats.
Yeah. But
How
I do.
funny.
I agree. I like the fact that Gunn has that group of actors that he likes to use, because even like Miss Tessmacher
Mhm.
is somebody who was in Belko Experiment and was in the Suicide Squad. You
Who's
know,
she in Suicide Squad?
she's the secretary to the dictator who comes bouncing in with paperwork.
Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, that's a kind of a throwaway part there.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
it was
All
totally a
right.
part, but
Um I I don't. I mean, I don't really know if I'm not so sure I would have wanted him as Terrible Turpin. Terrible Turpin is kind of a thicker guy. I don't
yeah,
know. I don't know who would have been like Michael Chiklis. Is it Michael?
yeah,
He could have been a good, really good Terrible Turpin.
yeah.
He'd been, yeah. Now that I think of it, he'd been perfect almost for him. Huh? You need somebody who looked like Jack Kirby.
Yeah. What? Just get the guy who played Kirby in the Argo story.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I don't
don't know
remember his
who that
name,
would
but he
be.
looked pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm just starting to wonder: are they trying to do too much with Superman?
I agree with you on that. Yep. I don't want to have a case where like with Green Lantern where I walk away saying that should have been like about 3 movies, if they would have just broken that up into 3 movies. But if the thinking is to create little launch platforms for, other movies, and it's understood that they just have a little part like Supergirl, just a little thing in there, and with the assurance that she's going to be, in her own thing. I don't know, maybe that's okay then, but the focus needs to be on Superman, obviously.
Yeah. It seems like, okay, you introduce all the people at the Daily Planet, and you make the Daily Planet a major part of the story.
Hmm.
But then it's like, well, why did you introduce Otis and Tessmacher?
Yeah, that's the head scratchers to me.
Yeah,
Why in the world, if you're trying to say we need to go forward, new fresh start or whatever, that you're going to do a callback that far back, so many people are not going to really have no idea who those characters are,
I
or
know.
why they would be in it.
Yeah, I mean, you could use Mercy Graves and get rid of those two, and you
Yeah,
really
I
don't
mean,
have to do much with her.
there's a really interesting character that's in the current Superman books right now. She runs. She's the one who runs Supercorp. Because Luthor's in prison. Shoot, I can't think of her name, but she would. She could have been, if you wanted to pull somebody from the modern comics.
Yeah.
That would have been a good one.
Well, it just seems kind of weird that they're going,
Mhm.
Superman 1.
Yeah. Well, especially since I think like the general consensus is that like we could probably do without Lex Luthor in a Superman movie. Like he's pretty much been in every Superman movie
Or if you're going to
ever.
use him, don't make him the big bad. Just introduce him and then save him for later.
There you go.
You know?
There you go. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. All right. So that's probably enough about Superman.
There's never enough about Superman. Well, what if Bruce Wayne is introduced in this movie? Wait till we hear that. It could happen. Wouldn't it be funny if he's just Bruce Wayne?
Oh, yeah. Like he buys the Daily Planet.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome.
It could just be like a thing on TV, like someone doing reporting, and they're like, Bruce Wayne has just bought, blah blah blah, and we got 2 words from him as he was running to his limousine, and they could have Alfred there with him,
Or just have it like he's buying the thing, but Superman's heading out on an assignment as Clark Kent, and they see each other in the lobby. Bruce, Clark.
Yep. All right, well, get James Gunn on the horn. We're gonna get our show shut down. They're like, how do these guys know all the stuff that we're doing?
Yeah. Know all the secrets.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as it turns out that the evil twin and the Acolyte is just a force projection, it exists.
You called it.
Yep. That's 100% mine, not from any other show.
You heard it here first, and the whole Michael Rooker thing.
Yep.
Let's not forget that.
Yeah, it's like, James, I know that there's like 90 years, almost like 85 years worth of Superman history. You don't have to put it all in the first movie.
Yeah, right.
Pace yourself.
We know you're really happy about being at DC and making a Superman movie, but just pace yourself.
No, I want everybody's favorite character to be in the movie.
James, the prankster, does not need to be in this movie, nor does the toy man.
We're going to get Bloodsport. We're going to get
Bloodsport. If they want a really good Superman villain from the comics, is that they've never done is the Parasite.
Yeah.
I
just do Mr. Mixel-Piddleclicks.
Yeah, that.
I just want the guy who has to play him be on the red carpet going, "Yeah, I'm playing Mr. Mixel-Piddleclicks." Excuse me, Mr.
Like
Mixel-Piddleclicks.
the actor himself can't get the name right,
You got to say my name backwards. I can't say your name forwards.
When is this movie supposed to be out again?
July 11th, 2025.
Okay, one more year. Wow. Okay.
By the way, my casting for Mr. Mixel-Piddleclicks, Nishudi Gatwa.
I could get behind that. And he's got to keep it that accent of his though. He can't do any other accent.
Oh no, yeah,
Okay. All right.
absolutely.
God,
Yeah.
that's kind of funny. That is kind of funny.
Yeah, I'd be all for that.
Okay. All right. All right.
Uh,
See,
you know,
James Gunn does not want to get on the phone with me because I would tell him that his brother is not right to play Max Lord. I'm sorry.
yeah, you're probably right.
Just
So he
not.
has played other parts than what in superhero movies. He was a regular on what's the mother daughter show that was on for years? Everybody loved.
The the uh, the mother daughter show that was on
They're in a small town, and the girl's growing up, and they've got like this guy that runs a restaurant is like the pseudo dad.
oh my god. I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Joan of Arcadia. I don't know.
No, no, no. All right, let's look. Sean Gunn.
I
Let's
don't
see.
care. He's still not right for Max Lord. It's too bad that Sam Neill is too old now because that's who Max Lord was based on. Kevin McGuire drew him to look like Sam Neill.
Gilmore Girls.
Oh, Gilmore Girls. Okay.
Yeah, he was a regular on Gilmore Girls.
Okay. I'm glad to hear it.
He was in a show called Who the F is Buddy Applebaum?
Okay.
Great title.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a great title.
Yeah, it's amazing that it's no longer on the air.
Yeah. Yeah, see, that's the thing is that a lot of these movies and stuff, they jump to the big bad guy right away. And it's like,
Mm-hmm.
I think the FF should stay away from Doctor Doom. I think they
Mm-hmm.
should have saved. Well, Red Skull, you kind of have to go to Red Skull with Captain America if you're doing a period piece.
Yeah, yes. I was gonna say if you're doing a period piece. Plus
Yeah.
he doesn't really have that many other really great villains.
Yeah. Well, no, Cap has some great villains.
I guess. Man.
Iron Man. Iron Man's a little deficient of great villains. I mean,
Right, but to their credit, they did not start out with Mandarin.
no, Obadiah Stane.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. But yeah, you're right. He just has a couple of guys with gimmicks, and like
Yeah.
Blizzard, or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, basically, they went Stane, or Ironmonger, Whiplash, and Extremis.
Yeah, right. You didn't say Mandarin.
He wasn't
with Extremis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as
Yeah.
Glenn Boo says, Mandarin is a chicken.
Yeah.
It's a chicken dish.
It's true. Well, look at least with Batman, they broke the the hold that the Joker has on Batman movies. They didn't go with the Joker for this more recent one.
Yeah. And
No, I haven't watched it yet.
And they didn't for the first Christian Bale one either. They saved him for number 2, which is the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
Establish your hero, then bring in the villain, the arch nemesis, and give him time to be established.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Christopher Nolan's probably handled it the best, and then tripped over everything doing the third one.
Yeah.
You know that picture that shows like somebody drawing a horse, and the first panel is great, and the second panel is great, and the third one looks like a 2-year-old drew it?
Yeah. Is that what that's the Batman, the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy in a nutshell, folks.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much. So, all right. I think we're good. We talked. People listen.
We're good.
Thanks, Jay. Thanks, Ed. Sticking around. I got to get back to working on the dice bag for the weekend. I will see you guys on Thursday. I'll probably talk more about the Superman thing on Thursday. because that's really bugging me. So
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah.
yep.
Oh, you know what? Just invent some more rumors and you'll feel better.
Oh yeah. By the way, guys, if you check out, there's a Humble Bundle going on right now for Dynamite's 20th anniversary. I don't normally plug stuff like that, but it includes the Karma graphic novel. You get like 20,000 pages of digital comic book stuff for $20. Everything is on one tier.
Wow.
It's got Red Sonja, it's got Tarzan, it's got Deja Thoris, it's got Vampirella, and it's got Karma.
Wow.
So the full graphic novel, all for $20. So check that out. And I will see you guys this week. Jim will be back. We won't be back next week. It's Father's Day, and Jim has to work. So we'll be taking the night off. I hope you guys have a good Father's Day, and we will see you back the following weekend. Take care, everybody. Have a good night. And remember to watch